Hi, this is Lucy McCall of Avala Mesa Miracles. This is As Above, So Below, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the astrology and the sky for June 21st through the 28th, 2024, as well as a little bit of herbal information for the time. And what we've got here is we've already had the solstice, and today we're having the full moon, and it's just that's different. We don't always have full moon on the solstice, which means the full moon is also at 1 degree, and or 3 degrees really, but it's close enough. And we're at the place of Ardra, which is was exactly like what we had yesterday in Taos, a huge hailstorm. That is very Ardra. It's like a stormy time, and it brings the monsoon if things are in harmony on the earth, which sometimes we are, sometimes we aren't anymore. But um, so it is a time where the monsoon starts, is the Ardra time. It's also called Betelgeuse in Western, a little red star, and it's near the galactic heart. So the full moon actually moves on into the galactic heart, and that is today at 7:08 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And this is well, yeah, actually the moon is in Capricorn and the sun is in Cancer. So that's what I meant to say. So the galactic heart is the moola. It's the root, what they call in India. And it's also what we call in Western astrology the galactic heart, the center of the solar system. And it happens once a month that the moon is near the solar center of the solar system. And it is supposed to bring kind of a cosmic awareness, is the idea in the Western. And the Vedic, it's more like facing your shadow. Well, either way, I don't know. You have to face your shadow to have cosmic awareness. Anyway, sometimes you have to go into the dark to see the light, kind of like when you meditate. So anyhow, it is a great time to look deep into the soul. And even though we're in the summertime, which is a more social time, it is still a very introspective time. And right now, we have all these planets moved into Cancer, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and yep, that's enough to say a lot. There's three. After having all that Gemini just last week, where everything was pretty frenetic, and we just have been dealing with Jupiter has just gone into Gemini, and we're still in a place where Gemini is kind of close to Uranus, within 10 degrees. So there's still just a lot of amazing kind of magical energy going on. And what's happening with all our aspects this week is all of them are from Cancer, the sign of Cancer, towards all different signs with different aspects. So Cancer is definitely, the sign Cancer is definitely being emphasized. So it's a great time to be working on houses and gardens and your own domestic chores in life. And also deep psychological work is really great. And that's what Mula is about too, is looking deep into the soul. So we have Mercury sextile Mars this very day, which is very energetic and very good for debate. Mercury and Mars together make great for people who need to argue about whatever. There's other ways to say that. Debate is a nicer word. And just that whole idea of just the mind going back and forth, and people giving each other ideas, and a lot of energetic thinking. We have also this week, we have the Sun in conjunct Pluto, which is where we're going to be facing more of, again, the shadow. It's a good week for all that, because Cancer is often that way too. The fourth house, ruled by Cancer, is down at the bottom of the chart, which is the nighttime. And it's just a time where we can just go deep into ourselves. Now, we also have other aspects. Mercury trine Saturn this week is happening. And that is, what day is that on? Okay, it's not for a few more days. Wednesday. And Wednesday is just a great day when you have Mercury trine Saturn. It's a great day to discipline the mind. It's a great time to edit and to cut out things that are not necessary in your life, but mainly mentally, kind of all that chatter we humans tend to have. It's a great time to like cut it out, and maybe even start a discipline to help you remember to let go of all that stuff in the brain. And then Mercury square Chiron, this could bring out some edginess in the nervous system, and possibly in digestive system, dealing with the vagus nerve. We might just have to just deal with inconsistent digestion, and that will be coming up next Friday. In the background, we are still moving with a Venus sextile Mars. That's been kind of around for about a week, and it's going to move into it more, and it will be precise next Friday. Venus sextile Mars is really, really good. It's very good for sexuality, attraction, creativity, art, beauty, a lot of energy towards creating beauty, a great time to paint something on your house, or because of all the Cancer, it's all about your home, but it could just be anything, being creative. And but it might be more in a domestic way, like redesigning your garden or something. So that's pretty much the week, without going day by day so much with the specifics. If you want to hear that, you can listen to KNCE Radio 93.5 FM, and that is in Taos, New Mexico. You can find it easy enough by going to Simple Radio app. They have radio stations from all over the world that can be streamed. So you can just go to that Simple Radio and look for 93.5 FM, Taos, New Mexico. And I'm at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time every Friday. And that's where you can get more details about the week. So we're going to go look at an herb right now. We're going to look at milkweed. Here's the milkweed. And I'm talking about that because I want you to smell this. Do you ever smell it, Flora?
Yes.
You do? Oh, it's just so beautiful. Well, everyone considers it just a weed, but there's more to it. And it does tend to globe out like this, looking so gorgeous as the sun goes into Cancer. So I consider it very much a Cancer-like plant. It has this white latex that comes out, and it loves bees. See? The little white latex. That stuff is just magnificent for getting rid of warts and other growths. It's a kind of latex, did I say that? And you can put that directly on a wart or other kind of growths, and it'll start to dissipate. It also, this plant also, when this flower, I've never smelled anybody be able to make an essential oil out of that, but maybe it's possible. It depends on how it's formed. But it's an incredible plant just for, oh yeah, once the flowers form, they go into these little tiny pods. And those little tiny pods, you can pour boiling water over them a couple of times, and then you can make soups, or you can just, saute them. I've sauteed them before, really. You could even deep fry them. I haven't tried that yet, but it'd be good. And it's just a good food. It's a really good food. The flower essence is one of the main things I've used it for. Is you can make the flower essence in the usual way of putting it in the sun and then adding some brandy or something. And it's very, very good for nurturing yourself or nurturing someone else. Someone who's having trouble with nurturing, like maybe they just had a baby and they don't really feel like taking care of the baby. I mean, you can even give it to animals who are going through that. So it's really good for just that whole nurturing feeling within your soul. And but that also means taking care of yourself too. For people who struggle with doing that, it's also very, very good. And I also really, really like to take the flowers and dry them. And whenever there's a woman who might have a lactation problem, she's not making enough milk in her nursing situation, I don't add a whole lot of flowers to it, just to like a pinch. It's almost like a spiritual or a homeopathic kind of addition to like an oat straw borage, milk thistle kind of mix with fennel that you would normally give a lady who is struggling with lactating. Just a tiny pinch of this will enhance that and make it better. And you can see there's a bee on it here and there. It also is where the butterflies, it's really well known, this Asclepias, for being very important to the monarch butterfly. But for some reason, we're not that much on a flight pattern with a monarch here in Taos, but we get these little blue butterflies, and I do see the swallowtail butterfly on there quite often. And it is just a lovely plant. It can be difficult for livestock, but when I was growing up, my dad had it on his ranch, and he never had problems with the cows eating it because it was East Texas and there was so much stuff to eat. They didn't eat this or the loco weed. But in a place where it's really dry and it comes up, you got to watch out if you have sheep or goats. So here there's some goats, but they don't bother it because they have other things that they want to eat. But if they have nothing to eat, you know how goats and sheep are. They want to keep munching. So there you are. That's what's going on this week with that. St. John's wort is about ready to bloom, but I'll talk about it next week. It is considered a solstice plant, but apparently not at my house. Or it's a late solstice plant in a week. It should be flowering, and I'll talk about that. And, yep, that's about all I have to say about it. Thanks, everybody.